How's it going, everyone? Special edition of the show today. Today, I wanted to go over somewhat my plan, somewhat the plan I think of many people in the community who have found such amazing products of what could be millions in crypto in 2024. Again, not the usual show. Usually I'm live streaming, doing guests, or covering other aspects of the ecosystem. A lot of exciting things happened recently, but I wanted to do this special one today and go through a few things. So breaking this into 3 parts, I'm going to keep it as concise as possible. If you have any questions, keep them onboarding only in the chat. If I have a few minutes, I'll get to them. But again, 3 parts. What I pay attention to. And these are products from the founder. I've been following for 6, 7 years now. Back when he used to be a Bitcoin maxi, and then he created all this amazing stuff. Lots and lots of value in the ecosystem. And so it includes the blue chips, those things which I'll cover, and then the ecosystem projects from that. So part number 2, what I tend to avoid. Very important. And I'll get into why as well. And then 3, how can you participate? Like, what are the different ways to get in, buy it, trade it, sell it, stake it, all that type of stuff. So first things first, I'll put my screen up here as well. If you haven't heard of it already, hex.com, I will put it in the chat. Hello, everyone in the chat as well. Hex, you could buy it, you can stake it, you can mint it more from that. It is a way to, again, average size gets quite a big returns over the years. People have been locking it up for long periods of time, around 7 years on average. And I can show you the stats and all the stuff for that. But it is a product that lives on 2 chains. It lives on Ethereum and it lives on PulseChain. It was originally launched on Ethereum, and then the founder forked Ethereum, created PulseChain, which I'll get into in a moment. And now you have Hex on Ethereum and Hex on PulseChain. So again, it's basically like a time deposit CD type product. You earn yield over time. And that's a big thing in crypto, is earning yield on your money. And that is a product that is, actually just had a birthday. It's 4 years old. So four years flawless operation. You mint your own rewards. This is true DeFi. This is not your, give people your keys and hope you get your money back and hope they don't fail or go bankrupt. There is no bankruptcy. There is no way for Hex to go bankrupt. It is a smart contract. You mint your own coins. You do everything. So it's amazing. So check out hex.com first of all. And again, the stats. We have a lot of beautiful stat sites in the community. I'll put this in the chat as well. Look into hex.com. You can look at the ROI from launch. You can look at the liquidity, adoption. I mean, you see how many stakers. I mean, this is a real world product. People use this stuff. There are, you can see here, like around 120,000 stakers. People locking up their coins to get reward over time. You can do it for 1 year. You can do it for 1 week. You can do it for 15 years. Longer pays better, bigger pays better, all that type of stuff. I'm not going to get into the mechanics. There's a lot of stats to go over that, and I'll show you a couple today, or at least one today that's a new one that I really like. But yeah, this is a product that has a huge community. Again, the founder forked PulseChain. You get a free airdrop of all your coins there. I'll get into that in a minute. But hex.com is the premier product on PulseChain so far. Tons of liquidity there. And then Hex Scout. I'll put this in the chat as well. Hex Scout is a very interesting site. So one-stop hex management. So you can see charts, prices. You can click buy and swap. Get into, again, Hex on Ethereum, Hex on PulseChain. You can look at the different stats and the different whales here. There's literally whales here. I'll show you one portfolio in a moment of Godwell. You do not want to miss this. It is a crazy, just outrageous believer in the ecosystem who's been around for years as well. And the founder himself has shouted this guy out. You can manage your portfolio. You can buy. You can get into just how to start. It gives you a whole page. I really recommend you go to hexscout.com/start. That is going to take you into what is Hex. It's going to help you choose an investment of your choice, your dollar amount, how it's performed over time, all the anticipated growth, all that stuff. So it'll literally take you through the whole process, get you set up, and you can use this awesome portal to go look at the different stuff. They even offer support. They have, I believe they even offer one-on-one support. If you're really struggling with it to understand or wrap your head around crypto or DeFi, great site. Totally recommend you check it out. So again, I mentioned Hex is on PulseChain now. If you click here on the hex.com website, we'll go to pulsechain.com. this is a great just kind of landing page to tell you how to, super easy to change your MetaMask. Just a couple of clicks of the button. If you don't want to click a couple buttons, you can go to gorealdefi.com. I'll also put this in the chat. And you see I'm currently connected to PulseChain, but if I weren't, let me disconnect from PulseChain real quick. I'll switch back to Ethereum and refresh the site. And you can see connect to PulseChain. So that is gorealdefi.com. This is where you can get access to a nicer interface to interact with all the PulseChain apps. Again, I just want to show you how to get to PulseChain. So if you go to gorealdefi.com, click connect to PulseChain. Once you connect to PulseChain, click connect to PulseChain. It'll ask you to switch from Ethereum. You can't see it on my screen right now because the screen share doesn't show MetaMask, but it'll pop up MetaMask. It'll say, do you want to switch from Ethereum to PulseChain? You click switch network, boom, you're on PulseChain. Green buttons means good. And from here, again, I get links to HexScout, the PulseChain site, which we'll go back to pulsechain.com for a moment, and then I'll show you how to get more information on that. This is some of the technical information, the block explorer. Again, PulseChain is a fork of Ethereum, way cheaper gas fees. You get a copy of all the ERC20s, all the tokens that are on Ethereum. If you're holding them back in mid-May 2023 when PulseChain launched, you would have the exact same copy of those coins on PulseChain. All you have to do is switch over to the network. You got your copy, and now there are markets for a lot of those copies for wrapped Bitcoin. Huge markets over there for wrapped Bitcoin. I think the founder said they're like $14 million of value just by the fork happening and the huge community rallying around the chain, and just, again, making this thing have value by participating, providing liquidity, launching new projects. We'll get into new projects soon. But there's a ton of stuff on PulseChain. There's a bridge. If you have Ethereum assets, you can bridge them over to PulseChain. You can either go to bridge.pulsechain.com, or again, on gorealdefi, you just click on the bridge icon. It'll take you straight there. And on the bridge icon, you can just simply bridge over. So you would just connect your wallet and type in what you want to bridge over. If you want to bridge the different coins, you can bridge Wrap Pulse, you can bridge Hex from Ethereum if you have it, Wrap Ethereum, DAI, other stuff. And if you look on PulseX, which we'll get into in a little bit too, you can see there's even a market for a lot of these coins. Other places of liquidity on PulseChain as well with community projects. But there's an easy way to get your coins from Ethereum to PulseChain. So there's the bridge. Again, if you want to become a validator, I did a lot of content on that. You can become a validator, earn different APY. If you go to tinyurl.com/go validate, that'll take you to my landing page, which I do have a whole tutorial, scripts, introduction, materials, all that stuff to tell you all about it. And put that in chat as well. And then we'll go back to, or we're going to go Pulse, which we can look at a lot of different stats there for PulseChain. So you can look at the prices. Again, a lot of people say at this current time, the chain is way undervalued. There was a sacrifice phase where people gave money with no expectation to work with others, and they ended up getting coins in their wallets and stuff. And then they were able to trade and swap and price them up and down and all this stuff. If you go to the validator one, you can see there are almost 50,000, basically 50,000 number goes up and down validators helping secure the network. Again, true DeFi. We have people running servers all over the world. You can see on the globe, all over the map, that are securing this network. Amazing, amazing stuff. APR, these numbers, take them with a grain of salt right now. There's still some plus and minus the numbers, but usually I would estimate the APR is anywhere from like 7 to 14%, depending on how many validators you're running. All the stats and stuff. There's a bunch of ROI numbers as well, but again, it's probably a little bit lower than the current APR shown right here. We just need better stats sources to pull from. Nothing wrong with this website, just the sources it's pulling from. Some of the things need adjusted from back there. $2,000 per validator. Again, another way you can make percentage on your Pulse. You can lock up Pulse. You can help secure the network and earn that way as well. So again, this is a great website. You can look at the blocks, just the transactions here in real time, 10-second average block time, 17% faster than Ethereum. Ton of Pulse is being burned. there's just a whole bunch to PulseChain. I'm not going to get into a lot of the specifics, but boy, PulseChain.com and all the links from there is full of good stuff. Again, bento.me, I'll put this in here as well. This has links to a lot of the ways you can contact people, contact the team, or contact developers, or contact the community. Otherwise, t.me with PulseChain, t.me, PulseX, Hex News as Telegram channels for there. There's also PulseChain.forum, which is a great website that lets the community interact and have just more a place to have conversations around these things. A lot of it happens on Twitter. Highly suggest you follow Richard Hart, the founder, on YouTube and also on Twitter. He is pretty active on Twitter these days. And also richardhart.com. You can follow that to find more about the founder yourself and his story. He's in it for glory. He's been minting millionaires for many years. I know it all sounds too good to be true, but this stuff is real. You can look at the data. We have all the stats site and otherwise. So really cool stuff here. Again, beginner's guides, yield farming on PulseX, some of the aggregators and otherwise, and some of the PulseChain apps. So we can go to pulsex.com. So these are the blue chips in the ecosystem. What most people consider the place to, or the tokens that are the foundation. Again, you got Hex, which is the time lock, the earn interest on your stuff, or earn yield on your Hex. You lock up Hex for a period of time. Longer pays better, bigger pays better. You earn yield there, and there's a whole bunch of products built on Hex as well. I'll mention a couple today, but there's just so many out there, and probably many more to come. PulseChain is a fork of Ethereum. Hex is both on Ethereum and PulseChain. Calls out the fork. Again, all the ERC20s got copied over. Now the PRC20s, PulseChain R20s, are you have all those on there. So people, there's different markets and they're trading on different ways there. So that's the chain. That's the L1. It's the blockchain network that hosts a whole bunch of community projects now. Again, I mentioned that in a moment. And then PulseX is the premier DEX. It is the founder launched and dev team launched the DEX. It has a lot of liquidity. It has, if you go to DeFi Llama and you go to PulseChain, you can see total value locked on PulseChain. I'm going to put this in the chat. Y'all can see this here. I know I'm covering this as quickly as I can because I got a lot of things to go through, but I hope this is concise information to help you, understand what's going on in this part of the ecosystem better in crypto. Because a lot of people are not aware, they do not understand, they do not get it. They're in their own coin, in their own zone, and this is some of the most exciting products I've ever came across in crypto. So PulseChain, total value locked around 144 million in different protocols. PulseX, again, the premier DEX, 112 million. You got PHUX, 9inch, Fiat, SparkSwap, a bunch of them in the top 10 here. Fame protocols, all different community projects that are servicing different needs in different sectors of the ecosystem. So a ton of money locked up there. That's not, that's just part of it. There's still, you got money locked up on the bridge. You got just various pockets of liquidity and pieces coming to the ecosystem, which again, it's only a few months old. We don't know what's going to happen in 2024, but this is the ecosystem I will be involved in, and I'm very excited about. So if we go to PulseChain.com, again, you can go to app.pulsex.com, and that will give you the decentralized landing page. Again, real DeFi. The team doesn't host this code. They don't host the apps or most of the apps to do all this stuff. It is decentralized and IPFS. Don't be afraid. It's not very scary. It's just a decentralized network for hosting this. If you click the link, you go there. And again, this is just an app on the decentralized network on the internet available. Also, you can click here. You can download it, run it on your desktop. You've got Windows, Mac, Linux, whatever you have. You can download the app that literally lets you can download the DEX. You can run your own little application. You can run your own EXE to talk to the blockchain and do this stuff. It's not that complicated. However, again, if you go to gorealdefi.com, see, yeah, go to gorealdefi.com. You click on the Hex app, you click on the Bridge app, the Launchpad, and Exchange. Click on PulseX here. It maps to this. Again, this is just a shortcut, a pretty URL, just to make things a little less confusing for new people. PulseX.pulsechainapp.com. All it does is point to the official IPFS app. Just gives you a better URL. Again, it's all verifiable. You can check it. Click the verify hash here. You can check all the hashes and information and know that everything changed. Status okay. If something was wrong or otherwise not updated or otherwise, it will say status fail. So verifiable IPFS gateways are available on gorealdefi.com. So you go to the PulseChain app. Again, you have liquidity. You can do liquidity providing. You can trade. You can, you got all the different coins here. You have incentive token, which you can earn through yield farming. You have, let's go to the farms. Again, these APRs go up and down. They were extremely high at launch. They're a little bit, a little bit lower now, especially since prices have went up and down. But in the future, I'd be very curious to see more farms here, more incentivization, maybe even higher APR numbers and otherwise. But you can see real money, millions and millions and millions of dollars locked up, earning yield all the time, earning ink token that you can earn as well for the farming here. So again, got everything from under 10% to over 40%. And in the future, who knows, there may be a lot of changes there as well. So if you got info, I'll just drop the PulseX link in the chat. So if you go to info, you can look at the volume, liquidity. It's got different places for top tokens and otherwise. You can look at transactions. Everything there is just gives you the ability to trade and see what's going on in the network. And again, if you want to bridge tokens over, they have different markets for that. If we look at, you look at the different pools. Let's see, like for example, if you type in Bitcoin, should show some wrap Bitcoin that's trading over here. Again, if the copy of wrap Bitcoin is one of the tokens that actually has value on PulseChain, because it's not redeemable or anything, but the market forces have decided, hey, some of the copies on PulseChain have value. So you have Bitcoin, wrap Bitcoin. Let's do like wrap BTC. And sometimes you got to filter through a bunch of other meme coins and otherwise. Also, yeah, plenty of meme coins on PulseChain. If that's your thing, don't worry about that. There's plenty of places here, but anyways, just wanted to show you the different things on PulseChain, different ways to look at it, and the different places to do trades and otherwise. So that's PulseX. We talked about the bridge. Yeah, PulseX is interesting too because it's the one that after launch it went down a lot, and the meme in the community is 10,000x. Like we're here, 10,000x or bust. Hex did 10,000x. I forgot to mention that. In the cycle, it did just around 10,000x, maybe by some measurements 9,000, and some measurements 10,000 or something. Amazing, right? Founder has a track record of winning and making things, building products designed to appreciate enormous amounts. Bitcoin went from nothing to 60K. Maybe it goes to 100K this cycle. Who knows? I have no idea. But what do you think? New products that are designed with these intentions, with good game theory, with good community, with good value prop. What do you think they're going to do? I don't know. So PulseX from the all-time low, doing a 10,000x would be around 9 cents. If we go to, let's go to gopulse.com, go back there, we see what it is now. Yeah, that's a lot of zeros. 9 cents is a 9 here. A lot of zeros from 9 cents. So who knows? Again, this is above its all-time low. It's been lower and otherwise, but there's a lot of people that believe in this ecosystem. A lot of people putting a lot of money into it. And let me just go back to, yeah. And there's memes, people making videos, people making things that just the network effect, I think, is going to be incredible. I think if we're able to show people that you can invest in good products that have good values and you play healthy games. Again, some of the things I'll talk to you about in a minute, things I avoid, gambling and a lot of stuff like that. This is a place where you can take your talents and take your money. And we certainly hope, no promises, no expectations, but we hope we're able to recreate something along the lines of what Hex did with even a larger amount of people and ecosystem and power and big brains and otherwise. So 10,000x there. Let's go on to, we hope 10,000x at least. If it gets to 9 cents, that'd be great. So I'll drop this tweet. If you're not following me on Twitter, feel free to do so if you liked information such as what I'm sharing. It's at RHMax, just the way it sounds. So PulseChain projects I liked and I've talked about again on the show. Did a lot of live streams over time and talked about a lot of different products, founders. Otherwise, there's a ton of stuff built on Hex. You got Hedron, Maximus. You have pooled staking with Maximus. You have Hedron. You have basically NFT. You have hack shares wrapped up in a way to trade them. It makes, because right now if you lock up Hex with native stake, we call it native stake. You can't move it to a different wallet. You can't trade it or kind of put it up for sale on NFT marketplaces, stuff like that. Hedron enables that kind of thing, which again, pros and cons. Some people like not to be able to move it, so they save themselves from themselves. Talking about selling it early, for example, but also enables other things like the Hedron token, ICOSA token, which are positive feedback loops architected in a way with the ecosystem. And you have Watsa. We can talk about Watsa. I've got content on the channel for Watsa NFTs as well. You can check that out. Yield bearing NFTs, very, very interesting stuff. Again, this ecosystem is just like way ahead of its time, I think, in a good way. I think people are finally starting to realize like the cool stuff that's here. Liquid loans. We have a place where hashtag never selling. You can borrow, and it's like a borrow and lending platform you can take PLS and you can get a loan on it and mint stablecoins from that. So you don't have to sell it. You can just take a loan, pay it back over time. There's risk and stuff involved in that. Again, check that out if you want. Power City, similar deal. They got a lot of platforms that do some of the things that they got. Part of the platform does what Liquid Loans does, but with PulseX. So that's pretty cool to have that parallel. You can take PulseX, mint stablecoins as they make that feature available. Liquid Loans to take Pulse. So again, other ways to help you not have to sell and deal with things like that. Maybe you sell early and miss the gains or whatever. But just different ways to help you better manage your finances and, financial tools. There's a lot of very powerful financial tools, such as famous fiat. Those are a couple kind of like bank leverage trading platforms as well. Launched on PulseChain, doing very well right now. Again, risk and reward there. Make sure you do your own research and stuff like that. I've got plenty of content on it on the channel. All these stuff, if you search RHMax and then what it is, I've got tons of videos on all these projects I've did over the years for the founders. PHUX is another DEX that has a very interesting way of doing things. Liquidity, I'm not going to get into the mechanics, but very cool stuff there. A lot of value being locked up. Tetra, automated DeFi. Again, the Omnis DEX aggregator has launched. So you can use that right now, but also the true meat and potatoes is automated DeFi. I think that'd be very good for PulseChain, be able to make transactions and do stuff while you sleep and all that type of thing. So very interesting there, project. And fiat on-ramps. So you can mint a stablecoin that is native to PulseChain called CST. So you connect your bank account, you can mint and burn your own coins. They also have a discount token as well these days, and very cool stuff. So these are just stuff. These are the ones with tokens, at least. Other stuff I like in the ecosystem. I mean, Internet Money has a token as well. But just other products that I think are doing very well. Very, very good stuff. GoPulse, you're familiar with that. We just went there a few minutes ago to look at prices and validators and all that stuff. Piteus or Piteus. It is a DEX aggregator. So if you go there, you can get it's basically consensus, like the best price on stuff right now, because it's very, very well done protocol and platform people to use. Hex Scout, that's hexscout.com/start is where I send people to start with Hex and kind of figure out their investment and style like that. And the hexfire.io, really cool charts and stuff there. A lot of work, a lot of analytics, a lot of like really neat. If you're into that kind of stuff, if you're into statistics and metrics and stuff, Hexfire has a lot of amazing stuff there too. And we have wallets. We have community wallets, such as Internet Money and otherwise. But again, why do I like these? I like stuff that are positive feedback loops for the chips. I like obvious onboarding functionality without the zero-sum qualities, without buy this token and now you're using PulseChain. Like I try to avoid those, and more like, this token enables the people to participate more in buying the blue chips or locking up or all these other things. And then things bringing value to the network. Again, getting native dollars into PulseChain, not just what's on the bridge, or not just what you can mint from your Pulse PLS and your PLSX. Game changer. We need more of that. All these products do amazing stuff. So those are the products I like the most. So let's move on to, I'll probably come back in a minute and if I forgot anything to talk about there, but what to avoid. Now, things I prefer to avoid. I personally don't like gambling. I try to avoid it. In 2024, especially, avoiding things such as me not having a lot of big leverage positions that risk a lot of my portfolio because I just don't know what's going to happen. It could be up and down, but those are things I'm going to try to avoid. Meme coins. I can hold two positions in my head. I can hold that I'm glad meme coins exist. And I'm sure they do something, they tick the boxes for some people in their investments. But again, they just feel like too much gambling to me. Like they feel like too much, I have to be part of some private group to win, type of thing. There are a few exceptions. There's healthier meme coins and unhealthier ones. I did a ton of content on the ones that go to zero, get rugged, all that stuff. I prefer not to just get lucky and guess my way to millions. I want to make my own luck. And that's why I have this plan. And again, just things that I personally want to avoid to make sure that 2024 is as up only as possible for me and my investments. And then chasing shiny objects outside of PulseChain and the ecosystem. So I am placing my bets on this young new ecosystem with billionaire genius founder guy, Richard Hart. And there's even more winning. I'm betting there's even more winning, or just as much winning, at least this cycle, than there were the previous few years when, again, Hex did around 10,000x. Some people, shout diversification. To me, diversification is when you're just not confident in investments. When you quote, don't know what you're doing, that type of thing. I'm not saying I know what I'm doing, because I don't think anyone really knows what they're doing in crypto. There's people who are better or worse, but there's not like this formula that if you follow this, you're going to win each time. There's just too much uncertainty, too much unknown. And that goes for a lot of financial markets too. But to me, again, 80-20, 90-10, that isn't diversification. That's more about insurance policy. So if I'm 90% in PulseChain, 10% in something, like whatever, that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about placing bets over 5 different blockchains. To me, that doesn't make any sense. Like for me in my situation, it doesn't make any sense. Because after I've understood Hex, PulseChain, Richard Hart, and all this stuff, it just never made sense after that. I'm just not here for pedestrian investments or gambling. So as Warren Buffett says, diversification is a protection against ignorance. It makes little sense if you know what you're doing. I've been following the founder for many years. This is my second or third cycle in crypto. Let's see, 1, 2. This will be my third. Yeah, this will be my third. Once we complete this next cycle, it'll be my third cycle in crypto. I've seen a lot of stuff. I feel like I have a good idea of better and worse. I'm definitely not right all the time, but yeah, I'm just sharing my opinion of this stuff. Again, none of this is financial advice. I'm just sharing what I think is good and profitable for myself at least. So those are things I want to avoid. Again, if you have any questions, I know I spent a lot of time on the meat. I want to give you an introduction to Hex, PulseChain. Otherwise, I want to tell you the things I'm going to try to avoid in 2024, and hopefully the millions will just roll in, right? They'll just, if you have a plan, if you're well positioned, if I have a plan and I'm well positioned, I'll say it like that. I don't like to talk about other people, but for myself, if I'm well positioned and the macros do things that are positive for investors, I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited. And every cycle, people make millions and millions of dollars. Every cycle means new millionaires. It's amazing. It truly is. And it looks too good to be true, but it's absolutely not. It's absolutely not. Plenty of examples in the Hex ecosystem and otherwise that say it is not too good to be true. And I make posts on Twitter all the time. There's people paid off their mortgages, their parents' mortgages and stuff with Hex gains. There's a documentary. Learn more, go to thehighestofstakes.com. They made a documentary about the founder, Hex. It's got a little bit of PulseChain in there as well. Great for entertainment. Again, you gotta hear this guy's full story if you really want to understand these things. So he had a flashy phase. He had a outrage marketing phase to get attention. But really, what I believe is this guy is here for glory. He wants good and wholesome people to win. He wants to make more people that are a force for good in the world. And he wants to help people get out of the legacy financial system, which is, a meat grinder in a lot of ways. So I know, everyone says that type of thing, but this time, this guy's for real. So check out High Stakes, check out richardhart.com as well. If you're interested, it's got a little blurb from him here, his story and otherwise. longevity research and stuff, $27 million. So pretty cool there. So what can you do to participate? If you're interested here, you're not in the ecosystem yet. If you haven't seen the ton, just metric ton of content creators, me being one of them. I'm one of the streamers in the ecosystem, content creator. There's like 60 plus content creators, over 60 plus streamers. Imagine that, 60, 50, 60, 70, whatever number you put. That many people in the bear market, in the bull market, in the, whatever market conditions. Let's say there's more of them. We're at full capacity in the bull because everyone's super excited. That many people with a megaphone shouting about these products, talking about them, talk about the technicals, talk about the charts, talk about, the ethos, the community, just all this stuff. I mean, it just cannot be ignored. And shout out to Godwell. He is one of the most amazing hexagons people in the ecosystem you'll ever see. He has so much hex and PulseChain. I quite literally don't know if he could ever sell it anytime soon. He may be waiting, but also he's also locked up for about 14 years. So you don't have to worry about selling anytime soon because he is trying to accumulate the yield. He's trying to get the most out of this thing as possible. So amazing stuff. This guy literally has like millions and millions of dollars locked up. You could even say, who knows? This is at the most depressed prices ever, too. You could even say trillions of dollars at some point as well on multiple chain, on Hex and Ethereum and all that stuff, or on PulseChain and Ethereum. So amazing stuff. If you want any inspiration, I mean, this guy, you see, 30K daily. This guy, by participating in the ecosystem, is getting paid in the tokens 30K daily, 211K weekly, almost $1 million a month, almost $1 million a month just by getting in early in Hex, for example, participating, locking up over time for a very long period of time. He's making that much. And this is just Hex. I mean, this is just with his Hex stakes and stuff. So I'm telling you about the new. So Hex is 4 years old now. Again, still amazing product. One of the premier tokens. I think it'll be around forever and stuff too. PulseChain is new. PulseChain 6 months old. PulseX 6 months old around that time. So just to give you an idea, amazing. There are people in the ecosystem that care. They believe. They're locked up for a long time. If you want to participate in stuff like that, again, go to hex.com, pulsechain.com. Check this stuff out. Search YouTube, binge the Hex content for myself, other creators, PulseChain content. GoRealDeFi.com if you want to use the Hex apps and stuff. That is GoRealDeFi.com. Click a button, click on wherever you want to go on the different PulseChain apps. And that's all I got for you today. Again, just super inspiration everywhere. Billionaire genius founder, totally aligned for glory, and not dumping all that cool stuff. Great place to learn here. So I'll stop there, and I just want to say I'll say hi to the chat just like this. Appreciate you being here. Let me know things in the chat, and just continue with my journey here. May we all have the maddest of gains in 2024. That's all I want to say. So that being said, Scivive and 5555. We are out.